Hello, and welcome back to SourceFED. I'm Trisha Hirschberger. A horrific scene unfolded in Sydney, Australia today that has the whole world talking. A shooter walked into the Lindt Chocolate Cafe during morning rush hour and proceeded to take everyone inside hostage. The world watched in horror as around 30 hostages were seen with hands pressed up against the glass windows, and some hostages were even made to hold up a black flag with Arabic writing that declares, "There is no God but the God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God." The shooter, identified as 50-year-old Man Haran Monis, a self-proclaimed cleric, also known as Sheikh Haran, already had history with law enforcement after writing offensive letters to families of Australian soldiers who had died in Afghanistan, being charged as an accessory to the murder of his ex-wife, and he was involved in over 40 indecent and sexual assault charges from his days as a spiritual leader. So overall, not a great guy. He's been very opposed to the Australian involvement in the war, saying we want peace, but in recent days he's become more heated on his Facebook page, which is now removed. After Australian news outlets were ordered not to broadcast his demands, he posted videos to YouTube making demands to speak to the Prime Minister and asking for the black flag of ISIS in return for the release of hostages. Those videos have been removed. While some hostages were able to escape early on, others were held hostage until Tuesday morning, which seems like the future to us here at SourceFED, but is actually just a few hours ago Sydney local time. After a series of loud bangs, heavily armed police went into the cafe and emerged with 2 people dead, one of whom being the gunman, and others injured. Now that the horrible ordeal is over, questions are raised. Was this an isolated attack or part of a larger organized movement? Terrorism expert Charles Knight says, there haven't been statements from overseas linking this to extremist groups outside the country. That is quite positive. The individual or individuals involved didn't kill early, which is part of the pattern of some recent international attacks. It seems to be shifting more into the model of a traditional hostage situation, rather than the sort of brutal attacks we've seen overseas. Will this situation result in backlash against Muslims who live in the area? Perhaps. Fortunately, many Australians already are showing they are united, with the hashtag #I'llRideWithYou used over 90,000 times on Twitter, showing support for people dressed in Muslim clothes who fear backlash. Many Australian Muslim groups condemned the incident, saying that the message on the flag shown is, quote, a testimony of faith that has been misappropriated by misguided individuals. What will this mean for Australia moving forward? Who knows? Right now, everyone, including Prime Minister Tony Abbott, is concerned that innocent people have suffered by someone claiming political motivation, and the focus now is on keeping people safe. The area has been evacuated, and people who work in that area are encouraged to work from home until further notice is given. Our hearts go out to those involved. I'm Trisha Hirschberger.